Please, a round of applause for Joshua Nwakwo as he comes on stage. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, good evening. I'll start with an introduction. My name is Joshua. I'm a developer relation engineer currently working with High Partners, where we provide Devra as a service to um, literally, I'm not supposed to say that, but we provide Devra service to a lot of Web3 companies, big protocol that you guys know. And that's pretty much about it. So this topic is actually meant for developers, but for some reasons I missed. They moved my flight, so I came in late, and that's why we're having it now. But yeah, I'm going to be talking about how to get and retain developers. I think it would be really helpful if you put up the slides so they follow through. But yeah, so first thing, I have very little time, so I'm going to rush through it. So first thing, we're going to talk about what is developer experience and why should you improve it, and then lastly, how do you do that? All right. So first, developer experience is how people feel or the result they're able to get out using your product as developers, right? Like I mentioned earlier, this topic is for developers. But yeah, and there are a few reasons why. Yeah. All right. Next slide. We've passed this. Next. Yeah, this is where I'm at now. All right. So this is what a typical developer journey looks like for most people. You have ditches from your discovery phase to the scale phase, right? You have a lot of obstacles they have to go through, but your goal as a developer engineer or even a product builder yourself is to streamline this process and make it as straightforward as possible. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right. So, but why should you even do that? Why do you need to bother to improve developer experience, right? Couple of reasons. Some you can define yourself, but for me, there are three main reasons. First is to attract new developers, right? Then second is to retain and certify existing developers, and thirdly is to meet your KPI so you keep your job. This is a joke for developer guys. So, but then how do we do that? Okay. How do we do that? First thing is that you need to understand your product, right? You need to understand the in and out of your product from the business standpoint to the developer perspective to even like more community user. Let's say your product also have like a user facing side where nobody needs to write any code, they just come to use the service, right? You also need to understand that part of it, like every single aspect of it, like deep down, like you own the product. Most of the times it's usually very important if you're the one that own the product. Then after understanding the product, first thing you need to do, there are two things you can do, right? If you don't have an already existing developer experience, let's say it's a brand new project, you need to create a persona. You can't really target everybody. It's very tempting to do, but most of the times, you figure out you're just wasting time and resources. So create a persona if you're creating your developer experience for the first time. Then the next thing you need to do is to audit. If you already have like an existing developer experience, audit the current developer experience that is existing. See where there are loopholes, things that are meant to be fixed. Then next, this is the current templates we use at High Partners to audit clients' developer experience or create new ones we want to create. So I can share this with any of you if you need it later. Sorry, I'm being very fast. Now, moving on next to the solution. So how do you actually, we've talked about why, but how do you actually now do this? You've audited or you've created a persona. How do you now improve your developer experience? First thing is to drop your ego. Most of the times, developers have this ego. They try to show that they are really smart. They are building one abstractive stuff, one very amazing technology, and they want to dunk it on other people. They want to dump it on other people. And the truth is that people don't care. Most of you don't know the technology that OPay is built on, and you don't absolutely care about it. Like you're using WhatsApp, you most likely know is a React. They use React on whatever, but you actually don't care what they used to build those applications. And that is how it should feel in the hands of developers. Any product you're building. So first, you need to drop your ego, build for human beings, use everyday terms, use everyday user experience. Then next thing you need to do, I guess I'll just look from here straight. So next thing you need to do is to abstract anything abstractable. I know it's a bit of tautology there, but yeah, you need to really, really abstract. There's no need for you to give your developers or users 10 different steps on how to just achieve one thing. So you need to abstract everything. Let it be that they just need to take one action and then you help them make API calls behind the scene, right? Then the other steps you can follow, you can add code sandbox, which is a simple tool where you just get to test out your product and see how it works in real time before deciding to build on. Of course, there is SDK and there are build kits, so they can easily set up and start building whatever product they want to build in minutes. And a very helpful one is to open source example projects, so they understand what kind of use cases can be built on top of your protocol or your application. Then here, this is a very important one. So you have to make your article concise, right? And make your videos very fun and educative. Now, attention span is very, very little these days. So if you're making videos, you need to make them very, very interactive, very, very fun and educative. Then don't write article like you're submitting thesis for approval in a university. Write very, very short but helpful articles, right? So the other method, the other things you can do by adding feedback button to each of your page, each on your documentation site. This has really, really improved developer experience for a lot of our clients at Hype. So when you add this, you notice that people tend to give you feedback on things you wouldn't even notice, things your eyes couldn't catch. So it's very important to add like feedback button or feedback functionalities on your documentation site. Then next is to have a dedicated channel for technical discussions, right? A lot of times you go into communities, let's say you're trying to build on a particular product, you go into their community and you're trying to ask a question, but your question is getting overshadowed by people asking about TGE and others. So you need to have like a dedicated channel where people who are actually bidding on your product, like technical guys, can ask questions. And yes, you need to host AMAs or workshop. Just have a time for developers where they can bring their question and ask it so they feel connected. Then I think for now, last is to recognize reward active builders. This goes a long way. It's like you replicating yourself into different persons, because when you recognize active builder, what happens is that every single step that you've taken, they go on to do it on their own. That's why you see a lot of people make videos about projects that they are not affiliated with, just because they enjoy working with that project. They tend to make videos, write article about it, and post because they feel rewarded. Those rewards can be things as little as just shouting them out on Twitter. You don't necessarily need to give them like financial incentive. Then, of course, another way to improve this for big projects is to create ambassador program, right? This is where you now have people representing you in different places where you wouldn't normally reach. And yeah, what gets measured gets done. So you need to actually measure each of these strategies, even the ones that I haven't mentioned here. Whatever strategy you're using, you need to measure them to see what actually works and what does not work. If not, you end up wasting time and effort. So I think that's it for now. I'd like to take any question. Does anyone have any question? I guess no. Yeah. That's it. Thanks for listening. My name is Judy, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.